GotDaBeats.
Hey. Welcome to From My Perspective, the brand new show that talks about nothing but relationships and the differences between men and women. It's imperative that we have these types of platforms, ladies and gentlemen. So I was really excited to jump aboard with my baby sis, Ruthie Renee. Ruthie Renee, what's good with you?
Nothing much. What it do? I'm happy to be here. I'm excited for us. I'm ready. I've been waiting on you, Donnie. I've been waiting on you for a minute. I needed some kind of therapy. I think COVID-19 did it for me. It challenged me mentally. It made me question love in all different kind of ways that you could possibly think of. So I'm excited. I don't know about anybody else, but I know I'm here for me. Okay. I'm here for me because I want somebody to hear me out.
Well, I'm here for the fedora because you get that fedora kicking. That's all I'm saying. Like yeah, man, I just got the leopard bottom jump, bro. What they know about the leopard bottom? Fuck the red bottom, bro. Saucy. Anyway, like I said, man, we about to get straight into this thing. I want to open this thing up so people can understand. This is the first interactive podcast that I know of. I could be loud and wrong, but we want people to interact, both in the chat room and and once we do the advice column, if you look in the post. We didn't put it up on here now, but if you look in the post, there's a link that you can select that you could actually come into the green room and we'll bring you on and we'll give you advice on whatever it is that you're going through, you're experiencing, and so forth and so on. But nonetheless, we want to make sure that everybody understands to keep this thing fun, but keep it open and keep it real. And we will not tolerate disrespect. Nobody at no point in time will be disrespectful on this platform. You will get booted off of here ASAP. Okay. So without further ado, we can keep this thing moving. Like I said, Donnie B got the beats wrong with my sister here, Ruthie Renee. Let's get to the question of the day. So we see that hashtag, that's question of the day. What is love? Ruthie, to you, what is love?
For me, I would say love is a ball full of feelings. And what I mean by that is like love, it everything hits you in a positive way. It has nothing that causes harm to you. Like you're passionate about it, you're vulnerable about it, you love it. Yeah, some people may call love being excessive because that's how deep some people may go with it. But like it is a true inner feeling, and I think that's when everyone is most at their most vulnerable stage. But they'd rather be that vulnerable with that one person.
Well, let's go to the definition so people can see what the definition of said action is love. What is love? Love is a noun, an intense feeling of deep affection. Babies fill parents with feelings of love. Or love is a great interest and pleasure in something. He has a love for football and so forth and so on. I'm trying to be charismatic while I'm reading this shit. But in a verb sense, it's feel deep affection for someone, something, or so forth to someone, or like or enjoy something very much. Now, with that being said, I want to chime in because I like that guy. Donnie got an opinion. Listen, the thing that I think about relationships. Hey, there, hold on. First person in the chat room, big sis.
What else, sis?
What's up, Chrissy? Hey, bro, and sis. Good evening. This is my That's my Chrissy impression. Love you, sis. You already know. And we're gonna get you on here. But saying all that to say, love is remarkable. Love is something that it can't be qualified or quantified. Let me take that back. It can't be quantified. You can't put it on a scale, right? I think people and how they feel about the word and their reluctance to be powerless or seemingly unpowered or unpowered, they shy away from what love actually is, and that's what cheapens the word. But love to me is exactly what the definition says: is that it's having to express an extreme amount of emotion for something or someone, or having a passion of doing something. Go ahead, what you got? You raise your hand.
I got a rebuttal. I got a rebuttal for you on this one.
What's your rebuttal on?
My rebuttal is I don't give a damn what the dictionary tell me love is. You cannot tell me what my feelings are and what love is to me. That's their meaning of love. And I think what we all tend to forget is everybody has their own way of what they think love is. So if we already know that, why must we say that the definition of love is this? Like I don't get it. You can't tell me what love is. Love is however I say I feel that is love. That's
an interesting point. Let's look at it from this perspective. Say again what love is to you.
Man, I don't remember everything I just said. That was a lot.
The point I was saying is that love is an action. It's I love something. Love does not necessarily, to me, stand alone. Okay, love is like you see in the, you look out the window when you look at the field, you don't see, oh, there's love standing over there. No, love is an action. It's an actioning word. Okay, and love is to have deep appreciation or affection for. Now, the scale on that, I think, is what people question, right? But in order to love something, you have to, like, nobody says, oh, I love the Detroit Pistons. No, I'm sorry, because there's Pistons fans out there, no disrespect, but hey, I love the Detroit Pistons, but nobody loves the Detroit Pistons. You get what I'm saying? It's like one of those things is the way it's like, you're not going to say that. Okay, let's say that, Ruthie, would you say to the ugly dude at the bar that's trying to hit on you, would you say, hey, I love you?
No.
Right, because you don't want to give them the end. Even if you was having a general conversation, you ain't gonna be like, "Hey, I love you," because at the end of the day, I don't know, right?
Yeah, but remember, people use love in a different kind of way. Because remember, I can have love for somebody, don't mean that I'm in love with somebody.
Okay, fair. Okay, but that's a different question. If you're in love with somebody and understanding what the word love actually means, it's two totally different things, right? Because if you say I have love for somebody, that means I have a great appreciation for, or admiration for, or passion for what I'm loving. Correct?
Right.
Okay. So then we go back to what is love? The definition of it. Definition of said love is exactly what I said it was. And let's go back to it because I can't remember. An intense feeling or of deep affection, a great interest and pleasure in something. Okay. So when people say that, yeah, people have different understandings about what they think love is or what that means to them. But in order to understand the value of the passage that you're trying to say or what you're trying to say, that word is an identifier. Again, it's an action word. So I love something. That means, oh, you must really like that. Or you must really have extreme fondness for that to say I love it. Right? Now, let's turn this question on its ear a bit.
Okay.
What's just what's wrong with saying that you love somebody? Even if it's 2 to 3 days into you getting to know this person, if it's coworker or so forth and so on. It doesn't even have to be anything sexual. It doesn't have to be anything sensual. It could just be, I love you, man. Like you all right, man. Like I got this dope coworker. Like my boss is super dope, man. I love my boss, bro. Like he crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Just what's wrong with using that word in that context?
I think people tend to forget that there's like you said, there's like different meanings to what love is. And so, but all we know is that we're passionate about it. So I guess it's like, be careful how you use that word. I guess just make sure you use that word respectfully and you mean it. I guess it's how some people look at it.
That's fair. That's fair. And I respect that. I think so. We covered love as the definition. Then we covered love as how it equates to a singular person, i.e., you. Right? Now let's take the word love in relationships. The not platonic, the sexual relationships that partners. Would you identify as a couple or whatever? Because you got to say because it's 2022, so whatever. Anyway, what is love in a relationship, and what does that mean?
Love in a relationship. When you say relationship, all I hear is no longer me. No longer just about me. It's now about you as well. It's about us.
Is that love or relationship? Because you can love the person, right, and still not be committed to that person.
Well, dang, right? you hit me deep there. I guess you're right.
I'm just saying. See,
right. No. Okay. You just said. Hold up, man. You said you could love somebody but not be committed.
You can love somebody and not be committed to them or attached to them. Yes.
That's not love.
Why?
Because when you love something, you attached to
it. I don't necessarily agree.
How can you go with life without it?
Well, I'll put it to you like this. You could love like distant relatives and not see them again physically a day in life, but you still love them and you still hold them in a certain regard. Correct?
I hear where you're going. I mean, I know where you're going at with this. So it's different levels to this. Is what you're saying.
Because love is not. You cannot. Again, as I said, it cannot be contained. Love is It's not quantifiable. You can't lessen what love is because you can use it. It's a widget. What do you
You over there trying to be Dr. Phil.
That way we got Dr. Phil, F-E-E-L. That Dr. Phil over there. Give me my turban over sombrero. I need to get that sombrero. I will come back with a sombrero. Watch. Anyway, right. But that's the thing, and that's the point we want to get to with this thing. And like I said, and let me take a pause for a second to just bring this back. That feel free to comment in the chat room, ladies and gentlemen. What does love mean to you? What is it? Please let us know in the chat room. If you want to come on the show, if you look in the post, there's a link, and it'll tell you. You press that link. When the time comes, we'll bring you on the show Lord, where's my vernacular? So that way that you can share what you think about the topic. And then also we have an advice column where you can, well, not column, but advice portion of the show where if you have a issue, we'd be more than happy to listen to what you got. But anyway, like I said, so going back to love, love is funny. Sissy, she over here laughing. Nobody laughing at you, Sissy. Anyway, but love is funny. It really is. I've never seen anything people are more scared of than love. Think about that.
But why? Because you're at your most vulnerable state.
Right, but what's wrong with that?
Afraid of getting hurt.
Is that my problem or is that your problem? If you're afraid of getting hurt.
It would be a problem if you was the one who was to hurt me.
Right, but how often do you come across think about it like this, because that's always that's an unfair expectation. Do you not think so? Do you walk into a situation with somebody, you have a conversation with somebody, you still getting to know them, and all you worried about is getting hurt? Is that fair? Is that fair to you?
It's not fair, because then that means that person did not work on itself to be able to fully heal before starting to date again. And so they're carrying their baggage into the next relationship, and they're holding that person accountable for something that they have no ties to.
Interesting. Let's see how deep the rabbit hole goes with this. So think about this, okay? Because we talking about love, and in my opinion, again, from my perspective, love cannot be quantified. It's not quantifiable. You can't contain it. It's more, right? And so what I'm saying all that to say is that when we talk about in relationships, and you're like, oh, okay, well, I don't want to be hurt, so I got to protect my heart. So now I'm scared to use the word love. How can you say that you have a person's back? Can you, okay, let me rephrase the question. Can you have somebody back if you don't love them or have love for them?
That don't even make sense what you said. So I'm gonna say no.
What you mean it don't make sense? Okay, if you are, let's say, a coworker, right? Not a relationship, but just a coworker, and they say something that they right on against everybody else, and then or maybe they just say something they want to have your opinion, and if you care about them and their opinion, you got to speak up for them, right? That's kind of an obligation if you have love for somebody, right? So what I'm saying is that, and when we talking about in relationships, when you dealing with relationships, how can you say that you have that other person's back if you refuse to use the word love? Woo! See what I'm saying? Got you over there thinking. Got you thinking, kid.
I don't know. That person needs some counseling. They confused or something. I don't know.
Chrissy says, I've seen female friends bring the baggage and hurt from previous relationships until the new relationship. Well, Sissy, listen, I gotta say, I agree. In more common times than not, it's been my experience, and I'm not gonna get canceled because it's been my experience. Sorry, I'm gonna just say I've seen it more so that females bring the baggage into the situation and into the relationship because they're emotional. They are. You ain't gotta pucker your lip up there. You ain't gotta pucker your lip up because my thing is this. If you could think back over scenarios and situations in arguments, did the guy start the argument? Or did you? Not you.
The guy.
Talk about any woman.
The guy.
How's the guy gonna start the argument?
Because he's guilty of doing something.
Every woman in America. That's the new meme. Every woman in America. Oh, I got you. I mean, it makes sense, and people's scenarios vary, right? Because everybody is the champion of their own multiverse, right? Everybody has their own. Like your world is a huge world, right? Alone, because you see it, you live it every day. But you know what? I'm your brother, and my whole world is completely different from yours because I see it from a completely different perspective and deal with a completely set of characters, plot lines, subplots, everything. So there's a lot of iterations out there, people, ladies and gentlemen, and I think that we all need to take a step to really understand that we all are different, and we should all be respected as such. Fair. No, you don't agree?
Nigga, excuse me, I didn't even mean to say that word. People nowadays are disrespectful.
They are.
They are hellified disrespectful. And so you want me to put some respect on that? No, sir.
Okay, but my thing is this. I'm not saying lay down when a person steamrolls you with negativity or ignorance or the shenanigans that you're talking about. What I'm saying is that at the instance it happens, you have every right to check them. But you should not walk into it expecting them to fail you. I think that's the failure in the whole situation. If you go into a committed shareship expecting the other person to fail, you don't need to be in any kind of situation.
Okay. I agree.
And that's just addressing your point. Now, and again, I'm not Dr. Ruth Westheim over here. You know what I mean? I'm just saying I have my perspective and understanding about these things, which is why we're here, ladies and gentlemen. And again, if you have any other commentary or so forth and so on, please feel free to comment in the chat. Feel free to look in the post. There's a link. If you want to join us, we're at the views portion of the show where you could talk. Listen, give us your point of view. What's your perspective on what we're talking about? And we bring you on, and we can all talk about it. This platform is supposed. I'm sorry.
I said, let's do it.
Let's do it. This platform is for us to talk about. We need to have more openness when we're talking about things. The thing that inspired this is, quite frankly, Facebook. I'm gonna be honest with you. Facebook helped me to inspire this concept for me, because every day I roll up on Facebook, and I'm telling you, some of the most hateful, spiteful stuff come out of people's face, and it's just like, men are stupid.
Oh, here you go. Here you go.
Okay, but is it not there? Is it not there? I tell you what happened. So to prove the point, we're gonna have a hashtag. Hashtag is fuckery. Okay, and so when I come across these posts, I'm gonna forward these joints on from my perspective page. Hashtag fuckery, so we can see it. We're gonna chart this. Okay, and you can do the same thing with the men. And if you find them, you put the fuckery hashtag on it and put it on the page so people can get an understanding. When they search that the hashtag, they know what time it is. Because you like it. See, I got homework on this show. That's what we do.
I like that.
But the thing that the point I'm getting at, the moral of the story is that people speak in generalities. People also think in generality too, and they don't understand that everybody's different. What if, sake of argument, what if I'm the next Dr. Martin Luther King in ways that I can reach out and touch people and inspire people and move tectonic plates with how I do things? Who are you to judge me to tell? Who are you laughing and everything? Just disrespect. Who am I? Who are you to tell me that I'm not? Or who are you to say that you don't think I could be that? Again, your perspective is your perspective. It's understandable. It's respected because that's what you think. But if that's all you think, that's all you'll ever be. That's what I learned at a young age. So I shoot for the moon every time. Because if that's all I think, that's all I'm ever be. You want to think about Benning Road? Be on Benning Road then. That's my point. That not a good point?
That's a good point. And I wasn't laughing at you.
You think you laughing with me?
Nah, I was just thinking, you talking about move titanic plates. I'm like, that's powerful. But it was just how you put it together. I don't know. Don't mind me. That's all I was getting.
And it was tectonic, but I got you. Ladies and gentlemen, so since we don't have anybody here for views, we're going to go to Ask FMP. And this is an advice situation. If you want to put it in the chat, if you have a scenario situation you want to get our advice on, we'd be more than happy to give our perspective and our thoughts about what we think about your situation and how we can help or how you might be able to help yourself. Feel free, like I said, in the contact us in the chat. But if you want to come up on the show, you can come up on the show. And the link is in the post. It's a StreamYard link. You get on that, we'll bring you on. In the interim, Ruthie, we're going to talk back about this love thing because, this is an interesting topic, and we will always talk about love in some shape, form, or fashion because it's that ingrained in the emotion and the feeling of the difference between men and women, or in the union between men and women, or men and men and women and women. Because I mean, again, 2020, so we got 2022, so we gotta do that too. But love is a connection. It's the Out here, it's the 405. Back in DC, it's the 95, the Beltway, the Loop. You know what I mean? It's what keeps the car circling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think with that being said, love is funny in the regard of when you start talking that word, you get to know exactly who you're dealing with in a sense of a person understanding themselves and what they can bring to a significant other. That's what I think.
Well, I got something on it. I think one thing we failed to talk about was where does love start at? And I think childhood, birth, day one. You know, I think unfortunately, I think it is people who haven't experienced love before. Don't even know what it feels like. Don't even know what it look like. You know, what it sound like, whatever. What it feel like, whatever. But you know, it it's just crazy. It's unfortunate. So I think that development phase of our lives, the baby phase, is very critical for someone to show us love, because it will have an impact on us. I believe, like nowadays, you look at the news, you just see a lot of people with ill will in their heart, and I think that they lack love in it. It's something else. I don't know. Some people have probably never shown it. That's what I believe, and I feel like if shown that, it'd be a better place.
I hear you, and I do not think you're wrong, nor do I challenge what you're saying. I think the interesting thing about what love is and how that connects to the people that you're talking about. I think everybody is capable of love in some shape, form, or fashion. I think people choose to wield it as weaponry, and some people just are love and they understand it. They can sit in it and understand it and move with it. I mean, you know, quite frankly, you know, we were really raised in a loving environment and a loving home, but you know, the jury could be out as to whether or not we really truly experienced love. I can't speak for you, okay, but I'm gonna speak for me. You know, and again, no shots against you know, moms, pops, family, and so forth and so on. This is not the what I'm trying to say with regard to like anybody didn't do their job. What I'm going to say is that I think there's a maturity that we were raised with to understand what we were looking at when we were dealt with situations.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that was the fallacy, yet the gift of what love is. So we know what love is because we are tight. Me, you, and Brian tight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
we was rough getting there, but we got there. We arrived at the destination. You know, people had to roll over my head with a skateboard. You know.
That's what I was just thinking of.
And I knew you was. That's why I had to say it. And ladies and gentlemen, my brother, my sister rolled over my head with a skateboard. I'm saying it out to the world. See, I'm beating y'all to the punch, so y'all don't get tell that weak story no more. Anyway, but we love each other.
Mm-hmm.
We know we have love. We know what love is. Same thing with Big Sis. We don't have to talk about it. It's all love. I'm not saying it in a separatist way, you know, and hopefully it's not coming across that way. And if it is, I apologize. I'm sorry, but I'm not coming across that way. There's no separation at all. We're family nonetheless, but it's just familiarity, and understanding, you know, what being peas and carrots and peas in the pot in the situations, and you know, unfortunate situations. But nonetheless, love is love. You don't have to be handed it to understand what it is. I think that's one of the very few things in this world that people just get what it is when you see it, when you feel it. I still want to know what love sounds like, Ruthie, since you said it. But, you know, I'd be anxious to say that.
What you mean? Don't you hear it when somebody expresses love to you? Don't you hear what they're saying?
That's a very good point. From a mature situation, you said that pretty eloquently, but we're not saying it is that, you know, at some point in time I'm very immature and you like love sound like, what is that, like a fart or something? Like, what is that? You know, what is weird? Anyway, let's move forward. Steve Taylor says love is being in an unfamiliar place and still having understanding for one another. You better work back there behind the scenes, Uncle Steve.
That's the baby.
Hey man, I would say love you, but I don't know how that's gonna fall on certain ears around there. Yeah, but
no, you gotta say you love a person right now, today, any given chance that you see them, because I don't know what's going on. Everybody dying. It's like rest in peace then became the hottest, the hot topic. We don't even get a chance to mourn the first death we just got. And then 72 hours later, it's another daggone death. But I know that's a whole other subject.
No. Sorry, not
say you love somebody.
Well, you know what's funny about that? I think you're right. But life is life. Life is unforgiving, man. Just is what it is. You know what I mean? Like you gotta live it. Every moment that you got, live it. And that's why I'm huge on flowers, man. Like and not like in a literal sense, but giving people their flowers, man. Like it's cool to lift people up, and make shrines and paint murals on the side of the daggone buildings in the city and so forth and so on when the people ain't no longer here. But I'm like, if you didn't respect them or no give them that while they was breathing, what's the point? That's just my opinion. But again, that could be love, because it's like at the end of the day, people finally recognize that they love and cherish a person, and unfortunately, they just have to wait till people are posthumous in order to give them that. Again, different appreciation for love, different type of expression of love, right? But I think with that being said, people need to really understand that there's nothing. I'm not scared of love. I have never been scared of love, because to me, I'd rather love and then lost than to live a life without having loved. Period. You know what I mean? I don't know what my world would look like if I didn't, if I was incapable of love. So it doesn't scare me. You know what I mean? Like I'll tell, like even if it's too, like, hey man, I love you, man. I tell my guys, man, hey man, I love you, man. You know what I'm saying? I tell my kids, I love my kid. Donnie loves his kids. Love is love, because at the end of the day, I feel that people need to be more responsible to let people know where you stand with them. Mm-hmm. That's to me the essence of a leader. I can't follow somebody that can't share how they feel.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if I love you, that means I'm gonna take care of you. That means I'm gonna, you know what I mean? I'm gonna look out. I'm worried about your best interest, who you are as a person, and your core. Mm-hmm. That's love. And I think that's a thing. So I don't take it lightly. No, I don't. But the one thing is that I think people have expectations that are attached to what they believe, or what is hearsay about the love, or about the word. And that's the other thing too. I challenge people to understand, break away from the mold of what society is telling you, which is applicable for the usage of the word. A lot of the issues and stuff like that that's going on in society surrounding that word is because people are living up to what society is saying. Why are you laughing again?
Because when you the same person just tell me you read the dictionary.
Okay.
You read the definition to me.
Okay, I did.
It's the same thing.
How?
Stop reading this stuff. Can't nobody tell you what love is.
True, but love is an action word. In order for, how would you explain love to your son? You can't just say, son, it's just something that everybody knew and they feel it. A definition by definition is something that explains the purpose or the backstory, or it's what something, an object, a person, place, a thing is built on. Mm. In order for a person to be able to understand what you're talking about. So reading a definition of what love is, in case somebody was foreign to the word or did not understand what the word means or what it does, that's where you go to the definition to understand how it applies and how it applies to you.
Who wrote that dictionary?
Merriam-Webster.
Who the hell is that?
I don't know. I never shook Merriam or Webster.
That's
cool. Okay, but okay. So, let me ask you this. What color is the sky?
From what I can see, from my perspective and my view, it's blue. Depending on it varies.
It does vary. I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. But in average, it's blue, or it's considered blue. Correct?
That's it. Yeah.
But what if blue was wrong? What if by science terms they told you that the sky is not blue? Sky it actually is not a color. And when you see blue, it's just a refraction of light coming through various moisture particles. So it's not actually a color. It sounds stupid, right? It sounds like I'm reaching.
It's crazy.
But guess what? There's truth to it.
I don't know about that one, Donnie. I just don't.
Okay.
Blue, as we may see it, or as most would see it, would be that, as we know it as blue color. I would say that maybe, who's to say that the proper name for that is called blue?
Correct. That too. See, my thing is
you went beyond. You talking about molecules and different stuff. Like, what does that have to do with it?
What it has to do with is the point is that somebody told you that the sky was blue. So when you were raised to believe that the sky is blue.
Okay.
Yeah, did you the person that had literally inserted that into your head? Do you recall who that person is? And can you get them up on the phone right now and shake their hand?
You know I can.
That's my point. So when we're talking about love,
so again, you can't follow the dictionary.
No, you can follow the dictionary because the dictionary is not okay. A dictionary is not semen, right? It is a guide on. It's kind of like using a compass in the wilderness. When you lost, seek said compass. That doesn't mean it is true north. That just gives you a direction ahead so that you know that you keep on path. You know what I'm saying? And this guy, see, I'm gonna get this man. He said that's over 40 talk right there. He would know, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So, love you, Steve. Man. I said I love you, Steve. Anyway, like I said, the thing about it is that this is going to be a complex conversation, and it's going to be an ongoing conversation, which is why I wanted to start this one first. Because what is love? Love is at the root of, it's at the center of every relationship. Every single one. Every single one. Whether or not there's a business relationship, personal relationship, platonic relationship, it's love. It's love. Okay? And so to understand yourself, to understand your place in the world, you have to understand what love is, because you're not going to be able to navigate life by yourself. That's what I believe. For
me, I think at this point, hearing everything, love can mean a whole lot.
Thank you.
It can mean a whole lot. No, I mean, because it's different. And I'm pretty sure if somebody else was to come on here, they'll say something totally different than you. And then when you put all of that different versions of love together, that's a whole lot. I mean, that's a lot. So I think at this point, I'm gonna say it's safe to say I don't know what love is.
Well, you know what love is, and
I care.
She said, "I'm about to hit that 48 stage." Yeah, you is. You about to definitely hit that.
Can you ask that guy, whoever that was, what that question had to do with what is love?
What guy?
Who just commented? Who was that?
That was Christina King Pickett. She's about to hit that 48 stage because she was talking about what Steve.
Oh, shoot, Christina.
It's the gift that you get.
I thought it was Steve, so I was messing with him.
Thank you, Sissy. She said she appreciates the conversation. We're gonna have you bring your tail on here next week when we get on here when we talk about it. Chrissy, get your hair done, get nailed up and everything. Anyway, look, the reality is this, and ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna wind this thing down because we're not gonna take a bunch of time with this unless the public demands it. But we definitely want to take these in short microbursts so people can understand that these are topics that we need to discuss, and we want to have the platform to give to you so that you can talk about it along with us. But with regard to what is love, love is just it's something that it's to me it's ingrained in all of us. We know what it is. We understand. She said, "Okay, sis, hit me this week." Done. I assume you know what that means. Anyway, so I think that when it comes to love, I think that you do not go gentle into the good night with that word. That is something that you rage over. We're talking about being in love versus loving. It's two totally different connotations, two totally different definitions. Maybe that'll be the next thing we should talk about. What does in love mean? Because when we talk about love, love is a guide on. It's like I said, it's a compass in the wilderness. It helps. It's an action item. It helps you to get an understanding about how a person feels about something.
Who told you that?
Nobody told me that. I told me Johnny 5.
Okay, but see, it's still your perspective. But you're telling me that's what love's supposed to be. So me on the other end or the receiving end, how am I supposed to receive that?
When and with your ears open, I guess.
Huh?
Well, and with your ears open, I guess. Yeah. Now go ahead.
So, all right. So say at the beginning stages of your relationship. I'm not saying a relationship, right? We'll put it like that. So, is a person wrong for saying "I love you" first?
No, because that's how that person's feeling. And there's people that would kill to have a person that would just that would tell them how they feel about something and be genuine. That's how you lose people. Because if a person is telling you how they feel and it's unfiltered, unadulterated, and you bristle at it, they're not gonna want to tell you how they feel no more. I'm just saying. It speaks more about the person who's receiving it and less about the person who's saying it. Because the person who's saying it has a command of the language and command of how they feel about something. If you receive it wrong, that's because you receive it wrong. And not saying that there's anything wrong with that. But my thing is this: accountability is key in that scenario situation. We're talking about the love word, we're talking about relationships, we're talking about everything. Accountability is key. And I think that's where a lot of people go awry, because a lot of people, they don't hold themselves accountable, nor do they want to be accountable for something, for a lack of love or situations as to where they display their shortcomings. It's about love or lack thereof that creates that scenario for them. And all I'm saying to you, I'm saying that when I'm saying that, all I'm saying is that people that can some of the best people in the world and some of the greatest speakers and some of the greatest creatives love and express love and are fearless with it. What life do you want to live? Should be the question. I love in a lot of different ways. Not even trying to be funny or sound sexual or nothing like that. I love in a lot of different ways. I'm a creative by nature. My acts of service, my public works, things that I do, the philanthropy, the creative stuff, the visual stuff, the empowerment that I try to empower everybody, that these are all signs of love.
So no wonder you say that or you express that love shows through actions, or whatever you said. I get what you're saying. That's how you look at love, through action. So you pick up. So a person doing for you or showing you things, that's the way you're able to understand if they truly love you or not. I don't want to hear you talking. Seeing is believing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Oh, hey, babe, I love you. Oh, you're the greatest thing that's ever happened to me. And then that's one day out of 7 days a week, and the other 6 days I'm beating the hell out of you. What are your actions saying?
Yeah, they confused.
Action is everything. Action is everything. People don't know how. I don't know how I can't work with somebody that's like extra negative about work all the time. You want me to work with that person? I mean, all right, I'll do it. I can't guarantee we gonna be, what I'm saying, knocking projects out of the park over here. And if anybody knows me, I'll be like, I can't, bro. I can't. You ain't gonna put me on with that person. Sorry.
Yeah.
I do it by myself before I do it with somebody else like that. And I think the thing with relationships is it should be held in the same regard. And my let me just I'm gonna step myself back down off of that one. I'm gonna just say this with regard to situations and people. I'm one to understand what the power of presence is, right? Mm-hmm. And I think that I know that I'm worth more than the bullshit that you're gonna give me. So my time is money when it comes to stuff like that.
Do you express that? Excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like, do you express that?
Sometimes, like you said, like was said earlier, the action is what it is, and that's really at the end of the day, that's all it ever boils down to is the action, and how people receive said actions, right? Because like, okay, case in point, and I'm gonna just throw myself out there on a rope. I moved to California. My kids are in Maryland, I think. And I move for them. They don't understand that. They will, hopefully, God willing, the conversation to be able to have the conversation about it. But vulnerably speaking, to them, they have a reason as to where they may feel like, oh, well, Dad don't care. Well, of course, because you see this perspective, and you're well within your right to have this perspective. But you know what? It's an incomplete equation because you only getting these variables. Mm-hmm. When you get these other variables, that's when it becomes realistic. Okay, so how does that equate to you and in this conversation or the viewers that's watching? Listen, a lot of times we throw variables out there to try to complete equations, but don't have all the correct variables. That's the beauty about math. And it's funny, I had this conversation with a coworker yesterday. I was like, you know what? I don't give a. When was the last time you used the Pythagorean theorem in real life? You be in school, they be like, you know what I'm saying? Well, you're gonna use this later in life. I'm like, I ain't ever used pi. 3.1 to 4. Now I can wash my car better. Like, no. But there are certain things that you can use to have an understanding about things. And with that being said, it's like this is why I wanted to focus on this word love. If you understand what love is, just what it is, hopefully you can understand that it should empower you. Because through love, so much can be done. Wars are fought and won over love. Any rom-com you can look at on TV is over love.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest songs and ballads and stuff like that's out there is love related. One of the greatest, if not the greatest band ever, Earth, Wind, and Fire, all their songs was about love. Yeah, saying all that to say is that love is a very, very empowering word. Very empowering. And the understanding of it is even that much more empowering because you understand what it means. You understand what comes with that territory. So if somebody tells you, hey man, I love you, Okay. Cool. Like, because now you understand exactly all of the things that's encompassing of using that word. Now, again, on the flip side, you don't want to fault them if they fail you, because if they fail you, then that's just human nature, right? Or maybe they don't have a full grasp on the word, which goes to your point earlier.
So why get mad at them?
You have every right to be mad at them, depending on what it is, obviously. But this is where the communication happens.
Bro, I think you contradict yourself here, sir.
How?
Because, like, then you just say you can't really quite hold them accountable. You don't expect them. It's like you know, or they shouldn't have expectations. You're not expecting to have expectations, or I mean, understand you're not having expectations of them, or you know, you're just forgiving of them. They make mistakes. So if you're aware of that, why argue?
Fair. And I get your aspect on that. So what I was saying, first of all, with regard to accountability, I feel people need to be more accountable. I think we live in an age in a society right now where everything is, there's no accountability for anything, and this is the Wild West right now. And actions are shown, and they're louder than words. So with regard to that, accountability is key, and I try to hold everybody accountable, because I'm black, and I'm a black man in America, and I'm held accountable for everything that I do, to everything that matters. So if I'm going to be held to that standard, I hold everybody else to that standard too. With regard to love, I hold people accountable, because I'm like, if you say you're in love with me and we're in love together, then there's an accountability that comes with that. I do understand that, but maybe you fall short. That's where understanding comes. That's the next word, understanding. Because it's like, okay, I can't expect you to be right all the time, because again, that you are you, and we are we. You know what I'm saying? People have imperfections. Hell, as much as I'm talking, I'm very imperfect. You know what I mean? And there's a ton of people right now. There'll be probably a long line around the corner for people to tell you that they feel I'm wrong about something, or that I failed them in some shape, form, or fashion, and they're probably right, because it's from their perspective, right? You like what I did there?
That Donnie, that sounds selfish.
It's not selfish. It's not selfish, because at the end of the day, I look like this. I wish nobody ill will. Not one day. Okay, I'm lying. 2 people ill will. Okay, and y'all gonna have to find out who them 2 people are. But them 2 people should know. Anyway, 2 people. Other than that, I don't wish nobody ill will. At the end of the day, I really don't, because at the end of the day, I am full on. I'm a work in progress, just like everybody else is. I live my life to the fullest, and I try to lead with love. And I think that's what I want to be left and remembered by. My motorcade, I wanted to be a love motorcade. I want people when it's time to let me go, I don't want nothing but you. I want to be cremated, and I want everybody to let's get in the car, and I want everybody to ride the PCH from Southern Cal to Northern Cal.
What that's supposed to signify?
That's supposed to signify we all gonna ride out and take the time to understand that there's more in the world than just us. That's what it feels like to me.
It got the sunset though.
I don't care if you could be in 11 o'clock in the morning, because it's going to take you about good 6 to 7 hours to go to PCH anyway. I'm just saying
that's a big state.
California is a huge state.
That thing is huge.
Yeah, it is, but just like I didn't make it. So, but with regard to love and with people and the whole thing, like I said, look, I lead with love. I don't purposely try to hurt nobody. I don't try to deceive nobody at the end of the day. And to me, I think that that's the best way to be. I lead by example, You don't want to, if you don't like my example, you don't have to follow. Totally fine. Totally fine. And I don't look, to me, as far as I'm concerned, in life, there's a space for everybody in the world. Everybody, include the pedos, the pedophiles. And I'm not saying I condone it. I don't condone it.
Oh hell,
but they out there. They out there. It's people that's out there. And again, I'm saying, and I know them probably gonna get shot down on the first day of episode. We ain't gonna make it to episode 2 or nothing. But I'm saying, like, legitimately, you never know what goes on in the minds of people, even some of the closest people to you. But my thing is this: I respect everybody until I'm not respected. You show me disrespect, then at the end, you show me exactly where we at. Cool, I'll cut you off. Boop. But you still exist because you have a right to. You know what I'm saying?
They don't have a right to exist in your life anymore. They can just, you can go on about your life.
True, but I'm not killing nobody either. Nor am I downing them, or nor am I damning. Right, that's my point. I love you enough to understand that you are who you are, and that you gonna do and be who you are, wherever the hell you gonna be at. That's love. That's love. Because instead of me being like, no, all these people need to be shot, all these people need to be hanged. You see what I'm saying? There is, if you really, because I think that people don't understand the value of words, which is why the dictionary is important. Dictionary, thesaurus, they're very important to educated minds. And to understand exactly where, how to tell stories, how to share wisdom, how to, because we need stories. We need our grandkids to know exactly who we are, which is part of the reason why we have this platform, so that people can look back at us and be like, this is what Ruthie Renee said. Grandma Ruthie Renee said this back in the day.
Shut up, Donnie.
Because you're gonna be grandma. You know what I mean? As sure as I'm an uncle, you're gonna be a grandma. And all I'm saying to you is this is what they say is that, like, basketball players, leave it out on the court. Football players, leave it on the carpet. Leave it on the field. This is what we got to do. And again, we do it with love. We do it with compassion. Kobe Bryant, Mamba mentality. At the end of the day, I did everything I could humanly possible to show people that this is the best way to live. And they shoot and chase after their dreams every single day. That's what got me on the plane to come to California. That's why I'm still in California right now. If you need to change. DC might not be right for you. Oh, well, I don't know. There's so much. You got a brother that left. Gave you the blueprint to show you. If you got to go to Chicago, but take the blueprint. You don't know where your life can be if you don't try. See what I'm saying? That's like family member or drugs. You still love them even though they stole your TV. Now, somebody get out of there with a damn TV and I don't recognize it. I'm just saying they got to be pretty good. I should have owed them a damn TV, to be honest with you, because that's that. Because I mean, when you go to their house, that's the damn money fine TV you got there. I don't know, it looks pretty familiar, But neither here nor there. Love you, Uncle Steve. Anyway, we well over time, ladies and gentlemen. We wanted to try to keep this at 30-35 minutes, but conversation kept us alive. And my thing is this: I try to keep these things fluid. Ruthie Renee tries to keep these things fluid. We're not gonna browbeat you with time, but we are gonna be respectful of it too. These are great conversations to have, and from time to time, these things may go 35 minutes for the most part, but then they might go an hour, might go beyond that. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Anyway, Ruthie Renee.
What it do?
We get ready to get up out of here, but you give us some last words and thoughts and where would you like to see things go, and just let it out there right now.
I would say stop being selfish. It's okay to open your heart. Learn to trust again. Learn to love again. I feel like both of those things no longer exist. Or they're all about to become extinct. It's just so much that's going on. So, just and I think it's just selfishness. People on social media, that's their attention instead of taking care of home. Like, focus on love again, because that's what's going to be in your corner when you hit rock bottom. So take care of home, or take care of whatever it is that you love. Take care of those who love you. Like, just spread the love, spread the wealth. It does the body good. It's good for the soul too. Good for the mind, both mentally and physically, because love can also drain you. It can. Or I would say a toxic relationship. I guess we can hold that for another time. But just to sum it up, I appreciate this episode. I think it was definitely a good opener. I'm looking forward to more. And of course, with me opening up more and expressing more. And I thank you for allowing me to speak from the heart as well, Donnie. Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.
Well, I gotta put it like this. First of all, I appreciate you so much. Just like I appreciate you. Like, just the beautiful human that Percy would be happy. You already know. You know the grin. His grin. He had a huge grin sitting there with his rum and coke, smiling on it. Oh, I'm sorry, his Bloody Mary, because that was his drink. It's smiling all from the heavens on you right now. So just understand that. Before I walk us out, I want to say this. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing us to have this platform. Whether or not you gave it to us or not, we took it anyway, because that's our right. From my perspective, TV is designed for the people, so the people have an outlet. If you choose to use the outlet, an opportunity for you to get a better understanding of yourself as well as the people around you, in order to put yourself in a better situation and the people around you in a better situation. Understand that that's what it's for. Understand that's the vehicle that, from my perspective, is for, and feel free to utilize it. It's here. It's for you. Okay. People talk about mental wellness, and we don't have any resources for mental wellness and mental health and so forth and so on. And guess what? You got a whole platform that you can talk to other people for free. Utilize it. That's where we at with that. That's number one. Number two, from my perspective, you can find us. This thing has been scrolling at the bottom, either official FMPTV from my perspective TV, or official FMPTV LA. Either one of those, you can find us on social media, and I guarantee you there's going to be more, because more episodes to come. Lastly, I will say this. I appreciate the conversation. I appreciate having a conversation, because I wanted to have the woman's perspective on life. I wanted to have a male's perspective on life, and two people that are unfiltered and unscared to be able to tell how they feel. I can think of nobody else than my baby sister, Ruthie Renee. And I champion her. I champion you, Ru. Like, I love you so much, and I know that you are every bit of capable of taking this thing over and running with it, as you do everything else in life. You lead with love. Maybe you don't understand that, but you do. That's the whole point of what this is about, and I love you so much, and I appreciate it. And good things will come to all of this. Good things will come to you and the whole nine. And yes, as Chrissy said, and we love you, Sissy. That's what you wanted to hear. And Thomas too, slapping on the head for me. Anyway, I want to get back to the truth, and then we get out of here. Like I said, look, with regards to love, love is funny. Love is peculiar. Love is uncontained. Love is unquantifiable, but love is. And it always will be for those that really want it. deep as a motherfucker. I did that. You see what I'm saying? Like the boys say, I didn't even write that down.
Boy, you ain't go deeper than what I did. I was feeling myself tonight.
Well, they going. The jury's out. Okay. But I gotta give me a leopard bottom ball cap or something. Give me a
let's not do it. You jump?
Nats hat or something, or a fucking Dodgers hat with the leopard bottoms up on the undercarriage or whatever, you know. And then I can remotely be considered in the pantheon of the greats like Ruthie Renee. But anyway, like I said, all jokes aside, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. I'm very excited about this passage. This has been months, damn near a year in the making. We finally decided to wheel it out and say, you ain't gonna give me the eyes. I don't appreciate you and your candor right now. But you know, we working it. It's finally here. It's for us. It's for you. It's for us all. Everybody needs to try loving somebody. And that's just it. I would do anything for love. That's Meatloaf, by the way. So make sure you hear that song. Powerful song. If you really think about it. I'm gonna add that to this. Anyway. Donnie B got the beats. From my perspective with my baby sister Ruthie Renee. And we about to get out of here.
All right, y'all.
Peace.
Donnie B got the beats.